Gangrene, You Disgust Me. Ralph wasn't able to make it to join us for this one, but you know, nevertheless, we're gonna keep it pushing, man. Shout out to Ralph, shout out to FIFO. So, B.
Oh man, yeah.
Do a bump of the whip.
He's gonna take the man's
Right. Yeah.
face and everything.
I know, right? Right, silly as hell.
Before we get into the review, make sure you head over to patreon.com/DeadEndHipHop if you like this video and show your support. We just dropped an exclusive behind the scenes video yesterday to Patreon supporters, and we got more coming. So make sure you guys head over and show your support. Follow us on all the social medias, and make sure you go sign up for the newsletter, because we have some special offerings and stuff like that coming just for people that's on the newsletter. If you guys want to check this out, if you're a fan of Gangrene, the link is in the description. You can copy from there, man, straight from iTunes, man. So support good hip hop. Gangrene, You Disgust Me. B.
Yeah, man, I think this is their third album together. Unlike the first two, where I really felt, you know, they both was kind of like feeding off each other a lot. I think with this third one, I really saw like a step forward in Oh No as far as the production wise and the MC wise. Oh No, I think Oh No's always been a pretty good MC. With this album that they made together, I think they still stuck with their quota, with the like that same dirty thing, the edgy, with the, you know, grimy beats and everything. But I really thought on this particular album, I thought Oh No kind of really stepped the bar up a little bit. Not saying that Alchemist was slacking or anything like that, but I just really felt that on this album, Oh No stepped the bar up on the production side and the rhyming side. I love this, the first track, Reversal, kind of played like a played off a Nas Rewind track. Yeah. They kind of flow their verses and rewind. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's, you know, kind of a little clever way, they edgy, dirty way of doing it, which I thought was cool. Sheet music, I thought, even though I thought Havoc, him doing the chorus was perfect for that song. You know, even of course if people wanted him to rhyme, but I always looked at Havoc as more as a producer than the rhymer. So I think him just on the hook, I thought that fit well. Sean P, his like gritty, grimy style with that production, I thought it was great. Flamethrowers was good. The Man with a Horn, which is one of my favorite Alchemist produced tracks. I thought that was cool how he had the horn sampling, you know, going on throughout that. That was one of my favorite Alchemist produced tracks. The only track I didn't like was the Action Bronson track. I think that was one track I really didn't. Yeah, I didn't really care for that as just a whole.
That was like one of the singles, right?
Yeah. Euro Druid and Fashion, I thought their feature was good. They didn't like, oh my God, wow me with their features, but it was still solid enough for that project. One of my favorite tracks on here easily is Hazardous Materials. I love that joint. And I thought Chuck Strange.
There we go, B.
I thought Chuck Strange was actually pretty decent on this. You know, for the, I thought the Alchemist beat, he fit the Alchemist beat pretty good. He found his pocket. And Chuck Strange
That's an interesting feature.
Yeah, it was. Chuck Strange is actually, you know, he did a good job on that track. So Chuck Strange, if you watching, man, shout out to you on that verse, man. I thought you did well on that one. I've been listening to Gangrene since Gutter Water, so I think in the EPs too with Rocky Marciano. So they pretty much kind of stayed, you know, they stayed consistent pretty much throughout their whole sound. I'm glad they didn't try to reach. They did a little bit on Welcome to Los Santos, which is more like a compilation. More so, I wouldn't really consider that. Yeah, like a soundtrack for Grand Theft Auto. So I wouldn't really consider that.
That shit
as
with
like
Freddie Gibbs on that was tough.
Ooh, yes it was. Yes it was. So, but anyway, but I thought just from their 3 albums, this third album, I thought they pretty much kept that. You know, they knew what they wanted to go with, and they kept it dirty, gritty, and grimy with the rhyming and with the beats.
Their signature sound, like what they do,
yeah,
you know, they definitely stuck to that template on this project, which, you know, I'm perfectly okay with. You know, I think that, you know, with them being producers,
some people can be like, well, dang, they still
right. It's the same old shit over and over again. Well, I think if you can do it well, then what's the problem? And then, you know, do you really want them venturing too far outside of the comfort zone? I don't know how that would sound. Not saying that they couldn't do it, because I think they're talented and creative enough to do it. But I think with this being their third project, you know, I'm perfectly fine with this album and the sound that they gave me. You know, you take the title, you know, You Disgust Me, and you take the beats and the rhymes and, you know, the album cover, and then, you know, them pretty much sticking to the central theme of the album, I think it was cool with the skits and stuff like that. I was totally okay with that. Reversals definitely was one of my standout tracks. I think Sheet Music, the line on there, where he say something about, dreaming and then, so I can see your dreams on the pillow or something like that. I'm not really good with memorizing the lyrics like that, but that was one that stood out. And then Sean Price, when he was like big dreams but a little crib, like that's what I've always loved about him. Like, he's just always been so open and honest with his music. So so that was another standout line that stuck with me. The Man with the Horn, man, is probably one of my favorite tracks on here, man. Just that horn in the background and the way they put the beat together.
It was so dark and jazzy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like that combination, just the way it worked. It just shows how talented they are. I like Gluttony. I thought that was good. Hearing Your Old True. I know people say this, but when he started rapping, I'm like, dang, just that Nas sound, man.
Like that Nas.
I had to love. I was like, I didn't know Nas was on here. I was like, oh, Your Old True, but I should be used to it by now.
Everything he.
I know, man. I know, and I know it's not him, but whatever. I'm with you, man. I don't know. It was something about how Chuck Stranger sounded on that Alchemist beat. He just kind of stood out. Like I think his voice, the tone of his voice over that beat, like when he just started rapping, but his voice over the Alchemist beat made for an interesting pairing for me on this track. But it's definitely one of the tracks that I like. And then to be, of course, Evidence on here. He did his thing too, man. But yeah, overall, I definitely, like what I heard here, man. I think it was definitely a really good album for them, and they stuck to the formula of what works. And you listen to it, man. You get beats, you get rhyme. And that's it. And that's what you walk away. Yeah, for like 43 minutes, and that's what you walk away with. And sometimes, when it comes to albums, that's what you want. Like you don't need any of the extra, stuff added on top of it. You just want to hear, motherfuckers rapping, and that's what you got.
I like this album. I like how extremely dirty it is. Like, and just like both of you guys have said, they have a formula, and there's absolutely no reason to stray from it at this point. They do what they do well, and I think that this album came together perfectly. I think that Sheet Music is probably my favorite track, just because I think that everybody sounded perfect. It's just nice hearing Sean P again. Because it makes me wonder how many verses like this that he has that are still floating around there, that haven't been released yet, but. Yeah, that whole punching in your face for a living, that should have you cracking up. He just has that way of just delivering those really simplistic, straight to the point bars and the bully lines that are just like, punch you in the face for a living. Come on, man. Man with the Horn, I gotta talk about that too. That song I thought was amazing. It sounded like a dark jazz club. And most of this album as a whole, the songs themselves kind of, I don't want to say they sound alike, but there's not much to distinguish each song from another, with the exception of that track. And that's why I think that track stood out so well, because that beat was different, even though it was an incredible beat, the way they did it. And then the way that they rhymed over that, the whole storytelling aspect of it, that made me wish they would do an album like that. Just one, or even an EP that's just like that. It doesn't have to all sound like that dark jazzy shit. These guys are showing that, yeah, they're really good at this indie thug shit, but they're not one-trick ponies. Like, yeah, we can throw something else in there if we want to and do something completely different and be fucking dope at it.
For me, it also shows that, I know me personally, sometimes when I hear a producer rap, I always put them in that you're a producer first box.
Yeah.
With that song, they really showed me like, well, damn, they can really craft and write, tell some storytelling type rhymes, which is dope, because I'm always in that producer box.
Vivid.
Yeah, I'm always in that producer box when it comes with Alchemist and Oh No. It's like beats first. So yeah.
No, they did a great job with showing that they're not just producers, they're rappers too. I enjoyed that. Yeah, you know what? I'll say Gluttony. I did think that was Nas too, because I wasn't looking at the track list. I was just doing it in my car the first time I heard it. And it wasn't even a question. I thought it was Nas until I went back maybe 2 listens later, because aren't they on his? Isn't this on his label? The
Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal,
it was
wasn't it?
released through Mass Appeal.
Yeah. So I figured it was Nas. Cool, because Fashion's on here too. So I was like, okay, that's Nas. I didn't know it was Your Old Droog until seriously 3 or 4 listens later. I was
crazy.
like, oh. Yeah, it's It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about this album. I think it's dope. You know, I will say this though about Alchemist. I feel like you were saying that Oh No stepped up as far as as far as production.
Yeah, I think he was a little more experimental, a little bit more, I think, than Alchemist on the beats.
Well, while you were noticing Oh No stepping up, I think Alchemist stepped up as far as his rap game, and I think that Alchemist has been getting better and better on the mic. Because, you know, the first time I heard him rap, it was just weird. Because I was like, that's Alchemist, because it doesn't sound like him. But now it's like, he's an MC. Like, I don't, like you were saying, I don't put him in that producer first category anymore. It's not like when fucking Primo did a verse on Prime. It was like,
Don't do that again.
No. Don't do that no more.
How about no?
Yeah, how about you don't do that no more, ever again, ever. Alchemist sounds like an MC, and it's so funny, like, listening to this shit, when I hear him rhyme, I think of some big swole black dude. I don't think of a small framed white guy, but he was rhyming, man, and I think that both of these guys, Alchemist and Oh No, they sound so good over the beats that they're putting together. Yeah. They sound great. This is just a great street rap record. No pop sensibilities whatsoever. You're not gonna find a radio track on this shit. This is felonious music. Steal Nikes. Yeah, punch motherfuckers for a living. That's what this music is made for. So I think this is dope.
Oh No, brother of the great Mad Lib. If you're watching this, Alchemist, if you're watching this, great job. I like I've said many times, I always love Gangrene. I've been a fan of y'all since the Gutter Water, and I love that y'all kept that gritty, grimy shit that I like too, man. It's great beats, great rhymes. What more do you want?
Yeah, if you guys watching, man, just appreciate the album, man. I definitely, co-sign what B was saying, man. You guys stuck to what you do, and for me, sometimes that's all I want. Like when I put on this album, does it meet my expectations? And you definitely did that plus, so I can appreciate that, man. And man, I've enjoyed all the stuff you put out, so I'm gonna add this, right along with it. So just keep doing your thing, man. Everybody watching, y'all should go cop this, man. If you just want dark, dirty production and rhyming and no fluff, You Disgust Me is made for you.
Real quick too, again, if y'all watching this, do another album or EP with Rock Marciano. When y'all did that Greenberg, oh man, that joint, I still play that today. So do another one.
I don't know what to say that these guys haven't already said. This is a great album. It definitely is a good addition to their already impressive discography. If y'all like dirty ass street rap, then go check this out. We apologize for it taking so long. It was totally Ken's fault.
Good way to finish it. Blame Ken ass.
Hashtag blame Ken.